In an AI world, your business has one of two futures. You will become incredibly efficient and you will compete against the big guys with money who adopt technology, or you will get crushed. I believe the middle ground is going to be incredibly painful and highly unprofitable. I've been in tech since my early 20s. I also built a company and sold that company in a significant transaction at the end of 2019. I live in this world. I'm investing in this world again. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing to prepare, and if you prepare, it will position you to outcompete the big guys and to be incredibly profitable. If you don't, you're going to get hurt. I believe this to my core. So let me share with you what I'm doing. When I was 24, my business partner and I, some of you will know him, he's John, who co-founded Service Autopilot with me. We started a company that tracked the movement of freight and the value of the movement of that freight around North America on a map. This was before Google Maps. It was a very challenging problem to solve. We ultimately didn't make it. It was my first business failure. After several years, we threw in the towel. And one of our biggest challenges was, back then, you had to buy data from the US government called the Tiger Line files, which was essentially the US highway system or the North American highway system. We had this really challenging problem that data set had all kinds of flaws. So you would have a truck driving through Florida, and on our mapping system, it would look like it's just floating out in a field because those files did not contain that road. And we had to use what are called ArcGIS tools to try to help fill in the gaps in the North American highway system and local road system. It was incredibly challenging and one of the biggest reasons our product didn't make it. We didn't know there was such thing as raising money. Anyway, later, along comes a product called Google Maps. And I don't know if you've ever really thought about how audacious the Google Maps concept is, but imagine the idea that someone says, hey, what if one day we could route all the traffic of the world? And imagine if we knew all the road systems of the world. And as roads get built and as roads get closed, we know about them all the time. And oh, by the way, not only that, let's have a picture of every single segment of the road. Let's visually be able to show anyone, anywhere in the world, everything visually about a road, looking at a home, a sign. I mean, think about how audacious the scope of that project is. What we were building preceded Google Maps. Not that we were trying to do the Maps thing, but to me, because we worked on that problem, Google Maps blows my mind that someone literally said, we should do this. Just think about what was involved in making that happen. AI is way more audacious than that concept. AI is essentially the idea that we are going to train technology on all of the data in the entire world. But it's more crazy than that. We've already done that. We've trained the AI systems on all the data that is accessible and legally allowed. But now we have a new problem. We need more data. And so we are now doing what's called training on synthetic data. Synthetic data is this idea that we go and we hire legal experts to write briefs. We hire scientists to write papers. We hire mathematicians to solve problems. And we feed that synthetic data into these LLMs, into these AI systems. And we are spending hundreds, the AI companies are spending hundreds of millions, if not billions, creating synthetic data. When you think about AI, you might think about AI as a bunch of really complex programming. It's really a game of data. AI is all about data. When you think about the future of your business, it's exactly the same. It's all about data. When you need to schedule and invoice your clients, you go buy a scheduling system or an invoicing system. No big deal. Somebody's created that for you. But when you think about keeping up with what's coming in an AI world, there is no system coming that you can simply buy it, plug it in, and it will run your business. And the reason that's the case is that system is going to need a massive amount of your data to function. So if you imagine someday software will be able to sell for you, quote prices, answer questions, do customer service, and do all those other magical things that will reduce the need for people in your office or as many people, or take the great people that you have now and give them an assistant. If you think someday there's a technology coming to do that, you're correct. The problem is it will not work very good for you unless you give it an incredible amount of your data. And that means right now you have to start preparing. You have to start accumulating and saving data in preparation for what's coming. And what's coming actually already exists for very massive companies with massive budgets. But we are like within a year of having these types of systems, and frankly, they even kind of exist now. Well, we're within a year of having systems that will take all of your data and will sell, will do customer service, and will massively change the way you run your business. And imagine that. If your competitor has an AI selling, doing customer service, bringing incredible efficiencies to their office, they will respond faster than you. They will move faster than you. They will have better profit margins than you. They will outcompete you. And that's, I would argue, 1 year away. Imagine what the world looks like 5 years from now. I live in this world. I'm not just making this up. I'm looking at what's happening, and I'm involved in how it gets built, and I'm thinking about it. It's right around the corner. I'll bet you $10 million that the companies that do this will dominate the companies that don't. And by do this, I mean start collecting massive amounts of data in prep for what's coming. So I'm going to share with you how you prepare. Number one, record everything. Every company meeting, record it. There are plenty of tools online that will record them, and if needed, they'll transcribe them. Generally, where we're at with technology right now, they need to be transcribed. You don't necessarily have to transcribe everything right now. You just need to collect it. Every company meeting should be recorded. Every Zoom or Teams meeting, recorded, or at least transcribed. If you have conversations with someone and you're not in the same room, send them a Loom. Have them send you back a Loom. Save everything. And Loom is Loom, one of my absolute favorite pieces of software. Every single thing that you can record, record it. If I'm walking and I have thoughts, I either type them or I record a memo on my phone. It gets saved. The way I'm thinking about this personally and at a corporate level is I want every single thing recorded, because eventually that will become training data for the AI. Whatever AI system presents itself as the solution that's right for your company, it has to be fed data to learn, and it needs massive amounts of data. And that's why you record and you save everything. Next, what you don't record should be documented. Now, I think you document as you go. Don't go and get distracted from selling work and making money, but rather just start writing everything down. Or if you hate writing, just record it via Loom or via audio, because that will work as training data. So what I mean by documenting is you should have all of your pricing documented. You should have all of your pricing rules and guidelines and pricing matrices documented for every single service. Anything you can write down that describes how you make a decision on pricing, do it. There are so many pricing systems right now that exist. I think the majority are going to get disrupted, because if you feed AI the right rules and the right information, it will understand in the future how to price. And so you want to be documenting all of this. And frankly, in a company, you should be doing this anyway, because this is how you hand over the activity of pricing and estimating and measuring to other people. So it's a wise practice regardless to be documenting this. But I use pricing as an example because we are coming into a world where an AI combined with other tools will be able to automatically figure out your pricing, have a conversation with your prospects and provide quotes. But to do that, it has to understand with absolute clarity how you price and how you make decisions. And the thing that we are rarely aware of is the amount of thought and decision making that goes into giving an answer. And so that's where I say when you're documenting, it would be wise to record via audio or video how you think about it and how you make decisions. And it would also be wise to document it on paper. The other thing that you want to do that I should have mentioned when I said record everything, you want to record every single phone call. If you don't have a phone system right now that is recording every call, you should switch. And if you look at the price and you say, oh man, I don't want to pay for call recording, that's expensive, you should pay for it. At our company, we have been recording calls for years and years, and we have retained all of that call history. And we pay for it, but it is money incredibly well spent because it becomes training data. So at every single thing that you can possibly document in written form, record in video, record in audio, from phone calls to meetings to in-person conversations, and obviously some things for security reasons or for privacy reasons shouldn't be recorded, but just think about it in that way. Everything should be recorded and everything should be documented because you don't know what will have value, and that will eventually become training data. For most small companies, I'm very negative on lots of procedures and systems being documented. I'm a fan of checklists. So anything that you can create around that's a checklist around how you function inside the office, how you answer questions, how you respond to clients and prospects, all of that documentation that serves your business and helps you scale an efficient, well-oiled machine will also benefit you. It's like an extra reason to do this. It will eventually benefit you when you feed it all to a large language model, AI. I could belabor this point further. All you need to think about is save, document, record everything. You don't know what's going to be of value, but I will tell you again, the more you have, the more powerful the AI model you use will be because it will be trained on more of the information of your company. You don't need a fancy system, you just need one that you can do every day. All right, so let's talk about storage. I would use something like a Google Drive or SharePoint or OneDrive. Basically, you just need a folder system that is backed up to the cloud so you don't lose any of this. And the folder system, frankly, can be quite simple. It can be a series of folders like calls, meetings, looms, sales, client FAQs, service FAQs or SOPs, financials. Just you can kind of think through the different functions of your business and just create a folder that documents what type of messaging has been saved, and then give it a good file name. So client call with a date, pricing objectives, FAQ, top 20 questions a new prospect for fertilization weed control asks. The idea is you're naming the data, the file, so that you know what it is, but also whenever an LLM or an AI looks at it, it understands what that data is, but it will also learn from the context of the conversation or the context of the data inside the file. So the idea here is it's very simple. You need a place you can put all your files that will be backed up. They'll be saved by category, and they'll have a descriptor that defines what they are. That's a very elementary and very simple system. This is coming faster than any previous tech you've ever experienced. It's here now. But again, the next 5 to 10 years will look nothing like what we've ever experienced and will look nothing like today. The question is, are you going to be one of the companies that participates in the future and dominates and as a result has an efficient, highly profitable business? Or is business going to feel miserable and impossible and difficult for you? The companies that don't get serious about what I'm talking about and don't in the future aggressively adopt technology will be left behind in a way that's never happened to them before.